All
And
right,
we're on.
we're on. Hey Tyler, how are you?
Doing all right, man. How about yourself?
It's been a busy week. And last week at the end of that week was really busy, but overall it's good, man. It's good. So you got Tyler and I here doing dSIPRouter weekly. I mean, obviously Tyler and I talk all the time, but it's always good to get with Tyler on this show and just talk about, like, in recap, kind of some of the stuff we've been working on. So I'm Matt Kendricks, and who are you,
And I
Tyler?
and I'm Tyler. We're the founders of this dSIPRouter project that you all know and love. And we're here to talk to you about it a little bit more today. Quick blurb. In the show notes, there's always going to be the dSIPRouter community Slack channel. So go ahead and make sure you check that out. A lot of good things happening over there. People there to help you out, and a little community to kind of grow the project.
Absolutely, man. I'm always geeked up. We are getting a lot of people in our Slack channel that are asking questions. Um, we want to see a little bit more interaction with people, and probably we need to start posting a little bit more too. But I think people, the VoIP crew is kind of a quiet crew unless there's a problem. When there's a problem, they're very loud. Would you
Oh
would
yeah,
you agree to that? Yeah.
I would definitely agree. But even on that point, we do put out updates there, notices whenever we have like hot fixes come out. You'll have announcements in there as well. So go ahead and tune in. Get all your fresh
Yes,
hot topics for
that's
dSIPRouter.
right. That's right. So today I'm going to talk about this kind of refresher on Microsoft Teams direct routing, and then Tyler's going to come back and give you an update on our image builds. So from a Microsoft Teams perspective, we've been doing a lot of improvements around it because we've been moving stuff around in our signaling components of dSIPRouter, which is driven by Camellia. And so that has caused us to make some enhancements and some changes in order to make it work better for you. And I think there's more people thinking how, especially in this economic climate around the world, people are trying to figure out how can I reduce cost. And many folks, when they started with Microsoft Teams, they may have had a calling plan, and or they started up MS Teams and they already had some type of SIP service or phone service from another carrier. So they never kind of merged the two. So you have a lot of your users sitting on Microsoft Teams kind of talking internally and using it as a collaboration tool, but they're not
Mhm.
necessarily using the voice feature. And so I think we just wanted to revisit that again and just help you understand that, dSIPRouter has that functionality. It is a paid feature, but I think it's well worth the money for what you get with it. So I'm going to jump into this kind of quickly and just talk through that a little bit. And I'm going to talk first just about a couple of things around um, just around, like, the whole concept and what it is. So just real quickly, we have a new slide deck here, and I'll probably be sharing this in our Slack channel. And it's called dSIPRouter Value Proposition and Intro. And what it does, it goes through basically why you kind of use dSIPRouter, to, like, what is dSIPRouter, and then it has all the different use cases here. And this slide deck, if you're trying to explain to management, or you're trying to talk to your team about what dSIPRouter is, this deck here is probably the best deck for you. So I'll be sharing that and putting that in the notes. So let's talk about this really quickly around Microsoft Teams direct routing. Um, so back up a little bit, is that many people have and they have some existing voice infrastructure, and you're typically trying to figure out how do you get that existing infrastructure to work with Teams. And so if if you're trying to do that, the one of the features that we offer inside of dSIPRouter is this Microsoft Teams functionality. And there's different ways that Microsoft actually allows folks to interact with a carrier outside of Microsoft Teams. One is direct routing, which has been around probably the longest. Then you have Operator Connect. This is where your telco company does a integration with Microsoft, and on the inside of the Microsoft Teams admin, you can just select your carrier, and the integration is there between the carrier and Microsoft. But all carriers aren't supported. There's a cost associated with it on top of your existing carrier cost. So there's some negatives to that. But there's the direct routing, which we'll focus on, which is the original way, which basically allows you to use your existing. Let's say you had, for some reason you have Fusion PBX, Free PBX, and you have some users on there that you want to talk to your Microsoft Teams environment. dSIPRouter can sit in the middle. I'm not going to really talk too much about that. One of the use cases that we see a lot is that you already have an existing SIP provider, and you want to figure out how to get this over to Microsoft Teams. And obviously, I think the answer is to use dSIPRouter in the middle. And so if I kind of click on this a little bit, we can configure dSIPRouter to talk to your existing SIP provider. And then dSIPRouter will act as a broker, i.e. kind of SBC-ish. Like, SBC is kind of an overused word. I mean, Camilio is really a SIP proxy, but it can do SB-ish type of things. And that's what we've done here in order to support this. And then dSIPRouter will talk to Microsoft Teams, and then from there it'll route to a Microsoft Teams client, right? So this is a pretty simple picture. Now, a lot of people think that this is probably super complicated to get set up, and it's really not. So there's a couple of things I'm just going to share, and I'm going to have a full video with the details. This is kind of give you a little bit of a teaser of what we're going to do. So I'm only going to spend a couple more minutes on this. Is that I'm going to stop sharing this and pop on to the dSIPRouter repo really quickly.
Okay.
And kind of pop there really quickly. If I can type in dSIPRouter, cool. Can you guys still see this screen, or do I need to reshare again?
Got to reshare it.
Yep, got to reshare it. There it is. So let me present and share screen. All right. So cool. dSIPRouter. Inside dSIPRouter, and this is thank you to Tyler, is that he's organized these extra components of dSIPRouters or helpers into the resources directory. And there's one called Terraform, and underneath Terraform, there's a directory called DO for DigitalOcean. And so we make it super easy for you to kind of install dSIPRouter and start configuring it with Microsoft Teams. So if you are a Terraform user, and even if you're not, you can actually do this. So if you're using Terraform, and Terraform is super easy. There's a lot of videos around it as well, but you can actually run a Terraform apply, and this will actually install dSIPRouter. And actually, I'm going to show you how we kick it off. We kick it off inside of a Jenkins pipeline, and it basically, we have parameters that do a couple of different things. One, it actually will specify the host name that you want to call this server. It allows you to set the credentials of your dSIPRouter instance. It sets the license that you're using. So again, it's a paid feature. So once you get a license for us, you can stick it in there, and it will spin up a dSIPRouter instance for you, ready to go. And so that way you don't have to go through all the details of what it takes to spin one up. So I just spent up a new one called SBC demo, and that's what I'll be using in the video that I'm talking about. That's going to go into more detailed information. But I want to go to our SBC one here. Go to configure, And so what you'll see here is we are really just calling the Terraform script inside of here. So some of the things that we can specify is the branch, the version Debian, the version of Debian or the image version that we want to use. We build everything on Debian, so we highly recommend Debian. Even though Tyler does a great job of making all of the different images available, but if you want to ensure that you're going to get the best experience, I don't know, Tyler probably feels different because he does so much work to make it better. But Tyler, don't kill me. Is that we have
We
dSIPRouter.
love we love our enterprise Linux folks as well.
Yes, we do. Um, and we got dSIPRouter set credentials. So this is where you can set up your dSIPRouter credentials. That way, because when dSIPRouter installs, it actually creates a random password for you. So if you want to set a specific password, you can do that. And then you can call the dSIPRouter license manager and give it a license. And then you have some things such as like, important things like domain name and host name. And those are important because one of the things that it will try and do after it builds up an image, it will actually try and create a Let's Encrypt certificate, which is very important with Microsoft Teams because it uses that in order to authenticate yourself against the Microsoft Teams environment. So if you use the script, basically, it will install everything. Tyler, did you have something to add?
Yeah, so there's a lot of work being done on that in the background. We have another repo, but we haven't cleaned up the credentials and everything in there, and we need to kind of reformat it a little bit more. So we're going to be released that this year. We have this is just like a small slice of the pie. This is DigitalOcean. We also have AWS. We also have we have GCP in there yet? I think we got.
I don't know. I think we have Azure. I think we have Azure for sure.
Yep, that's in there.
And GCP, I'm
Not
not
sure
sure
if GCP is in there yet, but we want to get that in there too as well. And then we have a few more complex scenarios in there. So if you needed to test it on all these different operating systems, that's what we're doing with our CI/CD pipeline. We spin it up for all different operating systems. So we just need to kind of clean that up, and we'll get that pushed probably back into the dSIPRouter repo. Haven't really decided yet, or if we're just going to make that one a different public one. We'll figure that out.
Yeah, for sure. And what I'm going to do, lastly, I'm just going to show you, once a box is spent up, you can go ahead, log in. I'll go through this in more detail, but you'll be able to specify the domain that you're using. It will automatically add the Microsoft endpoints to it. So it'll start communicating with Microsoft immediately. And then you can test that connectivity by going here, and you can see if you're properly talking to Microsoft. Well, a couple of things. It validates your host name, validates your certificates, and the options. So if all that is good, then you are good to go to be able to start talking to Microsoft. And so that happens pretty much out of the box. So I just wanted to show this. I'll go into more details later, but I just wanted to kind of share that the best thing to do is to probably just start with DigitalOcean. We will also drop a refer code for DigitalOcean inside of this
in the show notes.
Yeah,
Yep.
In the show notes. Thank you. And that way you can just sign up if you're not already a member of DigitalOcean or a user of DigitalOcean, and then you can get going fairly quickly. So that's all I have for this. Tyler, I'll turn it over to you. Talk about some of the new images that you've been working on, which I'm excited about.
Yeah. So we obviously we were working a lot on our CI/CD pipeline and our deployments here. Some of the things we were doing before was manually pushing our images. Now we got that into the pipeline, and we have CentOS and Amazon out now too. So Amazon Linux is we have the new image for 7.7. We also have CentOS 9. We have Debian 12 as well. So those are all out for the 7.7 release. That's the latest one. Go ahead, try those out. They're on AWS. I put them in the last show notes. I'll put them in the show notes here too. We'll have it everywhere.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Thank you, Tyler. That's so important. And it's so y'all just don't understand. Like it takes us a lot of work in order to do these images. But the work that Tyler did the last couple of weeks has been super great because now we have it inside of our CI/CD pipeline. So now we can build images and push them to AWS like on demand, right? So which it frees up a lot of our time. So, but that work had to be done. So thank you, Tyler, for doing that.
Yep.
Last segment of the show, and we'll leave it like, what are you excited about, Tyler? What are you looking forward to?
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to the next integration that we're doing with the CI/CD pipeline. So Chelsea's been working on that in the background here, getting our load tests and unit tests and end-to-end tests all up to snuff, and then we're going to get that into the CI/CD pipeline. So it's going to be like on pull requests to our QA branch. We're going to have all those run, and that's going to give us a lot more peace of mind, one, and two, you don't have to go back and fix things as much when that all happens within the pipeline.
Yes. So this is a big thing. The other thing that I'm excited about that Tyler is going to be at, Chameleon World. So super excited about that. If you're going to Chameleon World, please join our Slack channel, and we'll probably set up something as a meet and greet at Chameleon World. So please do that if you want to kick it with us. Tyler will be there. I'm actually going to go to OpenSIP's Summit in Amsterdam. I will put details about that a little bit later. But so yeah, and then I guess the other thing I'm excited about is the dSIPRouter CLI. This is what Tyler, this is what Chelsea's building to support the whole testing, the QA testing of dSIPRouter. So we haven't had like a CLI that is separate from the dSIPRouter build. So what that's going to allow you to do is that if you're on your Mac or some other platform that dSIPRouter is not on, you'll be able to send commands to dSIPRouter from the CLI. We've made it pretty intuitive to use, but I think this is all in line with our strategy around moving to Go. The CLI is built in Go. So this is going to make it, I think, the experience for like, if you wanted to script something out in regards to like, I want to add endpoints or I want to, add, a carrier group, you'll be able to use the CLI to make it a little easier. You don't have to understand the details of the API. So, I mean, it's important to understand, but like you won't need to understand all the details. So I'm excited about that. So that's it. That's all I have, man. Anything
Awesome.
else from you, Tyler?
No, that's it. I think we're good. We'll keep it nice and short today.
All right, folks. Have a great one. Talk to you soon.
All right. See ya.